Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the tarot reading different from any other I've ever seen or heard, and I've arranged it that way specifically. We live unquestionably in extremely historic times. If you take a look at recorded history, that goes back 7,000 years. Human history goes much farther back than that. We're aware of that, but we don't have the parts and pieces to really create a storyline. We do, starting about 7,000 years ago up to today. It's not an accurate storyline. We know that people lie, cheat, steal when it comes to historical writings and stuff, and they lie. But we do have kind of a storyline to follow. In that 7,000 years, we have never faced a situation like we're facing today. I know that makes a lot of people feel uncomfortable. Too bad. That's the way it is. That's life. Get over it. This podcast realizes that fact. It talks to people who are serious, talks to people who are curious, want to understand, and want to grow. More importantly of all, manifest. They want to take the situation we find ourselves in now as kind of a foundation, a basis, and then use the podcast to help them manifest. You see, I've done tarot for over 20 years, and in the 20 years I found that tarot, from my point of view, does not predict much of anything. Yeah, once in a while they get lucky, but it's luck, it's not prediction. Tarot, however, is not a fake or a fraud if it is used intentionally and correctly. And correctly, I mean, I've found that tarot basically talks about the possibility. It's the science of potential. You see the cards on your screen. It's a very bland, boring screen. It's intended to do that because I want you to close your eyes. I want you to listen. I want you to create the pictures inside your own head. Not on some damn computer screen or smartphone screen or any of the other stuff. No AI, no nothing. You. Because manifesting is a God-given gift. We do it all our lives. It's usually negatively. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want this, that. Much of it comes to you. And you're there scratching your head going, what the hell? Well, you've manifested, but in a negative way. But it does show you manifesting, reaching into your subconscious, finding that frequency, tuning it in with the other frequencies in the universe. You can do it, and you do it all the time. So for me, tarot is the science of potential. Your potential, meaning you got to get involved. You got to at least make a decision. At least. If you sit there like a sponge and do nothing, well, then nothing's going to happen. So this is the podcast for people who say, okay, I want to actively, positively manifest. Am I going to save the world? No. Am I going to save my life? Pretty good chance. At least make it a little bit better. And if you do that, you're going to make it better for the people around you. Tarot, the science of potential. Yours. Now, the past 50 years I've been doing astrology and numerology, and in that time I have come to the conclusion that tarot and astrology are predictive in the sense of knowing about cycles. You know, I remember hearing as a young kid, that was a long time ago, I remember hearing as a kid, nothing is new. We've done it all. And I grew up in the love generation period, the 60s, 70s. Free sex, found out that sex isn't free. There's a price to pay, and most of us are not willing to pay that price. Nevertheless, I remember my parents saying to me, you guys think you invented this stuff? We were doing that and more. History shows that mankind has done that and more. You guys haven't invented anything. Well, of course, as kids, you know every damn thing in the world, and you're so smart, and you go, no, for us it's different. Bullshit, not different, the same. Kids today have that same asinine attitude. Well, we're different. No, you're not. You're the same, and you're proving it. So that's knowing cycles. Once you understand the cycles, Now that helps you with your planning, that helps you with your understanding, that helps you with your manifesting. That's the point. So I combine tarot, that's the final focus in the reading, but I set it up, where appropriate, with astrology and numerology because I want to know the cycles. Now, for some time now, I've been talking about the fact that coming up, not this summer, but next summer, that is July 4, 2026, that's the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, if we make it. Just so happens that the planet Pluto takes a little bit less, but around 250 years to make a complete turn through the solar system. So it is back to where it was essentially, not exactly, but essentially where it was July 4th, 1776, Declaration of Independence. Same kind of energy is applying today. In fact, the planet Uranus was also the same place, essentially. I mean, we're off a degree or two. We're not, listen, this isn't laser beam stuff. We're just carrying the idea, the feelings. So 1776, we got Pluto coming around to where it was then now. Pluto is the planet of evolution, destruction, rebirthing. Uranus has gone around several times. So it only takes about 84 years to go around the solar system. But it's in the same place it was back in 1776. Uranus is the planet of revolution. Electricity, surprises, sudden energy. Well, guess what? Those two planets are here again. They're coming up, and we're coming up to our 250th anniversary. See where the United States, the world is? It's in evolution, revolution mode. You can't get away from it. You cannot walk away from it. You cannot say, I'm not going to get involved because it's too difficult. You have no choice. Unless you just want to simply surrender, have nothing, and be happy with whatever they give you. And it ain't going to be much, because they don't want you here to begin with. They've said so plenty and plenty of time. In fact, just had a quote back a few weeks ago. Bill Gates says he's looking for the Black Swan event coming up soon that will get rid of more than 95% of the people on the planet. That's what they want. They're eugenics people. They do not want us on the planet. They want none of us. Replace us with robots. They think they'll be happier. I'll bet you they wouldn't. But that's a different discussion for another day. The point is, I want to take the big picture of this whole thing, what's going on, the energies. One of the things that's going on right now in the United States and around the world, but most specifically I'm focusing on the United States, is there's a House bill to further erode our Constitution, most specifically our First Amendment free speech. They want to pass a bill that people coming into the country applying for visas, they're not citizens, but they're applying for visas, can be kept out of the country if the government, looking through all of their internet stuff, finds anything that can be called anti-Semitic. That is, anything that says no to Israel on any level is good enough to keep them out of the country. Doesn't mention saying anything bad about black people, doesn't make any mention about saying anything about homosexual people, doesn't make any mention, but they get white people. You can say whatever the hell you want to say with them, but you can't say anything anti-Semitic. You can't say anything negative to Israel. Now, there may be some people listening to this going, well, it's a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's eroding the First Amendment. What they do is they chip away. If they do this now, 5 years from now or less, maybe you won't be able to say anything about this group or that group or whatever. They're eroding your First Amendment. You know, there was a reason why the Founding Fathers, in the first putting together the Constitution, said, number one, we protect our free speech. Number two, we protect it with guns. You see what's going on in Great Britain right now. They don't have guns, haven't had guns, and they're getting run over. I'm not advocating revolution. I'm not advocating killing people. I'm saying if there is the threat, that slows the game down. If there is no threat, And all we have to do is go back to the beginning of the country. How did America begin? Revolution. Ooh. So this bill that they're talking about, and I think they've already begun, Kristi Noem, I think, is already effectively carrying that law out, where if there's anything that says anything negative about Israel in your internet, you're not coming into the United States. Believe me, if they come for them, they're coming for you and me. Guaranteed. But a little history. Back in 1948, the same year the CIA launched Project Mockingbird. That's when they started to spy on us. People began to push propaganda. The government started to push propaganda. And in fact, by 2013, Barack Obama legalized the propagandizing of Americans. It started back in 1948. By 2013, they had us. 1950, Senator Joseph McCarthy claimed to have proof of communist spy rings in the United States. It was not true, but boy, did it put a scare into Americans. This is the problem. The United States has been unique in its dedication to free speech, but that constitutional right has been slowly eroded in the name of national security and protecting public health. They scare you. They scare you. Take a look what happened in COVID. What's the first thing they did? You can't talk about it. Nothing. You say nothing. You think nothing. We don't, nothing. Well, you know you're being scammed. You know you're being lied to. So now they're pushing something through, something they've been wanting to do for some time, where you can't say anything at all about Israel. It's the same thing as COVID. Same kind of mentality. What the heck is going on? I'll tell you, it's the silent treatment. Middle card in the reading, orphaned, orphaned, orphaned. That's what you're being done. We are being separated from our Constitution, and they do it by scaring us. National security, public health. Oh. You know how the Nazis were able to take over Germany so easily? Their number one propagandist, Hermann Goebbels, at Nuremberg, said it was simple. All we had to do was scare him. That's all it takes. Scare us and we'll give it all up. All up. And then we really have something to be worried about, but it's too late. So while we got the First Amendment, they keep chipping away national security and public health. There's the middle card, orphan card. That's the whole deal. Card up in the right side, or the number up in the right side, is 5. Change, change, change. You are orphaned. You're separated from your spirit. You're separated from your constitution. You're separated from yourself. And they want to keep doing it. And we're letting them get away with it. We're doing it. Here in the United States, it's government by the people, for the people, of the people. Well, where the hell are the people? Where the hell are the people? We're getting the silent treatment in a manner of speaking. We're being silenced. The meme for today, you owe it to yourself to fully show up in this lifetime. Get off autopilot. What a great meme. You owe it to yourself to fully show up in this lifetime. Live your destiny. You don't have to be rich or famous or good looking, but live what you came here to do. Powerful, powerful stuff. The silent treatment. We're being coerced to shut up, shut up, shut up. Don't think, don't not think. Let's go all the way to the left. Let's take a look here. We got the strength card. Very appropriate because that's what it's going to take. 250th anniversary of the United States coming up in a year. We're seeing the erosion of our constitutional rights, chip them bit by bit by bit by bit. For safety, for your public health, we're going to take us away from you. Turns out it's a joke, a mistake, a lie, but we've weakened our Constitution. You need strength to get it back. And that's what the whole thing is all about. Fortitude, patience, a love, not just for yourself, but for the country, a love of freedom, of liberty. That can give you the strength. Because right now, the next card is the Four of Cups. You see that? That's a lonely picture. Cups are things that we're emotionally attached to. We're not attached to anything, not even ourselves. All four cups are empty. And the ship has sailed. Or getting ready to. Let's move on to the next card. Two of Pentacles. Pentacles are our value system. What the hell do we value? We're material or people. Which way are we going to fall on that? Up to this point, we've been sold material stuff. But how is that working out? Houses are getting more expensive. Everything is getting more expensive. Food is more expensive, and it's disappearing. And they want to make sure with spraying the clouds and buying up the farmland, you can't eat. Hunger Games. And they're doing it more and more. And now they're telling you what you can or can't say. No, I know they're starting with the people who want to come into the country and get citizenship. But believe me, it is coming to you. This is just that little step for your safety, for your safety, for your safety. You got to make a decision. That's what the two is all about. What is your value system? What really is important to you? Why is it important to you? Or are you just going to be living life on autopilot? Well, whatever they tell me, it's okay. They know better than me. They do, because you're a friggin' moron, if that's the way you think. Think for yourself. You are being orphaned by you. You are letting them separate you from you. Final card is a Star card. Star card comes in mighty handy right about now because it talks about hope, talks about guidance. Talks about inspiration, healing. That's what needs to be done. As I indicated, here we're coming up to our 250th anniversary as a country. It's a government by the people, for the people, of the people, and the people ain't doing a damn thing. That was the reason we started the revolution, at least in part. No taxation without representation. Politicians weren't paying attention. England wasn't paying attention to the colonies. Screw them. Same thing going on today. They're passing laws. They're doing things that you didn't have a damn thing to say about it because you've taken yourself out of the picture. You have orphaned yourself. The silent treatment. You've shut down your voice. First Amendment, freedom of speech. Oh, it's okay. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to take any of the shit that I'm going to hear. What about that guy? If you heard the story about it in Britain, some old guy was talking to somebody and he said, speak up. I can't hear you. And that person went to a local cop, Bobby, and said, he told me to go speak English. I'm offended by that. Who gives a damn whether you're offended? Of course, they don't have free speech. They don't have Constitution in England. We do, but we're giving it up. We're giving ourselves the silent treatment. We're orphaning ourselves from our humanity. Birthday coming up, a big one, 250. We going to make it? You can help out. Hope you do. That's the tarot reading for today. Back again tomorrow with another manifested tarot reading. Hope you're here with me. I'm here every single day, 365. Between now and the next time you and I get together and do tarot, peace and blessings.